Ooh. What's up, good people? It's time for another session of that verbal cardio, man. We back. Back yet again, man. It's another glorious week of being alive and seeing stuff and knowing what's going on and moving around and smiling and laughing and eating and drinking and breathing. Hopefully both of your nostrils is working right now. You know, I know sometimes one of your nostrils be like, nah, man, I ain't pulling up. And then the other nostril be like, well, I'm gonna pick up the slack, but you got me tomorrow, right? Yeah, I'll fill in. Nostrils be playing like that. And sometimes both nostrils be like, yo, I'm running late. You ever wake up and one nostril just running late, it's stuck in traffic. And you got to get up, man. You trying to breathe. You clogging one nostril up, try to push the air out of the other one, and you get nothing. Sick of nostrils, man. I want them to work on one accord, simultaneously, hand in hand. Bad Boys, Ride or Die, Mike Lowry, Marcus Burnett, Riggs and Murtaugh, Lee and Carter, man. Tango and Cash, Running and Scared, Men in the Blacks. Sick of it, man. Duo it up, man. Mob Deep as nostrils. Tired of it, man. I woke up missing a sock this morning. I don't know where it went. I found it later on, but I was like, man, where you going? So I think the sock, just roamed around the house. Sock was just on an adventure. Like, man, I'm sick of this. I'm going out. Slid up underneath the door, fought the cats, went in the refrigerator, went in the cabinets, and then came on back, man. And then I posted my feet missing a sock, and everybody's like, what's wrong with your toe? Why it look purple? I was like, man, it's the lighting, it's the angle. Your toe. And I was like, oh. So now I had to make more videos on the story. I appreciate the concern, but come on, man, I ain't got gout. I ain't got gout, y'all. Come on. It was just the angle, it was the lighting, it was the shadow, it was my little night light. I got the night light, gives it the purple vibe in my room. I sleep with the night light on. Don't be judging me. All right? I like a little vibe in my room. And when the new house is done, there's gonna be a light in there too. Vibe Central. Cause I don't care what y'all talking about, man. There's some stuff lurking in the dark. See, y'all think ain't nothing in there, man. There's something in there. Y'all, you train your mind not to believe that, but it's in there regardless whether you believe or not. It's in there. And so when you keep a little light on, it keeps everything at bay. But it's something in the dark, man. Trust me. Trust me. If y'all don't believe me, walk down the dark alley. Walk down the dark alley in a shady neighborhood, man. Just walk. Since ain't nothing to be scared of. Go down that dark alley. Walk in the woods at night. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Ain't nothing in the dark. Now, mind you, in the woods, it's really stuff in the dark. It's like mad animals, snakes, tarantulas. No matter where you live, it's the same animals in the dark. It's the same. I don't care if you live in the Midwest. If you walk in the woods at night, it's gonna be tarantulas in there, snakes that's not even native to that area. It's gonna be the poisonous dart frogs. It's gonna be centipedes. It's gonna be dragons. It's gonna be those goddamn Komodo dragons. All that's in the woods in the dark. I don't care if you in Ohio, Illinois, Pennsylvania. It's the same. It's anacondas, cobras, Candyman, Freddy Krueger. Mike Myers is in there. Not Michael Myers. I'm talking about Mike Myers, the actor. He in the woods at night. It's crazy wild. So, don't be judging me because I got a nightlight. That's all I want to say right here, right now. Shout out to my patron saints, man. Sarita Houston, Terrence C, QDB, Charlotte McPherson, Ayomi, Miss Crawford, J.N. Lee, Miss Ma'am, Rashida, Keish, Cat 87. It's Miss Smiley, Shoe Game Shan, Jamal B, Rashida, Kiyomi, Alice, Crystal, Miss Ma'am, Tone, 2 Chelsea. What's up, everybody, man? I appreciate y'all for pulling up. It's another episode of Verbal Cardio, and we got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to talk about. First of all, the elephant in the room, the big news is the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. Brought to you by Netflix. The fight was trash. It was trash. It was garbage. It was lackluster. It was disappointing. It was all of that. It was. Thank God for the fights before that. But what can we say? It was free at least. At least we didn't pay for it. If you got Netflix, if you re-got your Netflix just for that, then I feel sorry for the people that paid to be at the fight, but it wasn't a good fight. And you know what? I'm aware of Mike's health issues. I'm aware that he is 58, 59, 58, 59, 58, 59, one of those. I'm aware. But I really feel like, and I don't want to say that it was rigged. I don't know. I don't really know, but I feel like watching that fight, I feel like Tyson didn't even try. I really felt like he held back. I really felt like he restrained himself. Like he literally didn't do anything for long periods of time. And I'm not equating that with age and a bad knee and no. I really feel like I'm just not going to throw these punches. I'm just not going to do it. And that's just my take on it. He literally was just standing there for a long time. One time he flinched and Jake Paul wasn't even close. He just did a flinch. I was like, oh. Because once he tripped coming out into the ring, I was like, oh, God damn it. That trip was very telling when he was walking up to the ring. I was like, oh, he tripped. Damn it. It's gonna be one of them. So it was very, now mind you, you know what I'm saying? This was all exhibition. It's an exhibition fight at the end of the day. But still, there was no entertainment value whatsoever on that fight at all. The fight before it with the girls Serrano and Taylor, that was a fight. Regardless of whether you think Serrano was robbed and that Taylor was cheating with the headbutts, which I feel like she was, that was an entertaining fight and gross because that cut on her eye was just brutal. But what I did appreciate and what I did like is that a lot of eyeballs were on those fighters. Like Serrano now, that was millions of people watching her fight. Millions. They say the viewership on the fight was like 60 million. Now, mind you, a lot of people didn't really tune in and lock in until Tyson Logan. Jake Paul. But you still got 1 million eyeballs on you. And I was like, yo, man, they scrapping. And I appreciate it. And the nature of boxing is just brutality. It's just a brutal game. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You getting paid to just beat the shit out of each other. You getting paid to do this. And we lined up. We licking our chops at the violence. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Why do we like violence? Is that something very primal? And I know not everybody likes violence, but I do. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna hold you. I do. I'll be watching fights. I'll be watching fights in the streets. I'll be watching paid professionals do it. I'll be watching amateurs do it. I like to see, action movies, people getting socked out. And I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm drawn to it. I don't know. But I'm all in though. This is who I am. This is who I be. And I'm glad that, Tyson got paid a glob of money. I like it. I'm glad he got paid, man. Because we've seen too many of our legends, too many of great fighters, you know, when they get to that age, they're broke, they're struggling, they got to do meet and greets, they got to, give away memorabilia. So it's great to see like somebody, a heavyweight champ, getting up there in age. It's great to see them still be able to secure a robust bag. And I know Tyson already had other streams of income coming in with his podcasting and his ventures in weed and all that good stuff. So I didn't think by any measure that Mike Tyson was broke, but this is a nice little paycheck right here. Granted, it's gonna be about 11 million after taxes, but still, I just would love to see our fighters just age and be well off because they fought for this. Literally, they fought for this. They fought and put their body through too much to be broke when they get old in age, man. So I'm all for, Tyson getting the Tyson getting a bag like that. I love it. I love to see it. And so, and I know Tyson's not a perfect human being, but I feel like this. We all know Tyson's exploits in life. And there's a lot of unflattering things on his resume. There's a lot of, suspect things said and done. But I feel like there's certain people that we can disregard their misgivings because we love what they do. And I see people do it all the time. It's a bias. It's a favoritism. I'm going to let that ride with him because, he a legend. I love him. But then somebody that you're not really sold on, they do something, they do a way, way, way less infraction. You like, nah, man, I ain't rocking with them because they said this one time. I ain't been able to rock with them ever since. Just from that, yeah. It's just something about them I just can't get my head around. And then when people do real shit, y'all be like, well, they've changed, they've grown. But you won't get that same courtesy to somebody else just because you really wasn't fucking with them to begin with. So now you look for the slightest little nugget, the slightest little strand of anything to hold on to, be like, nah, I can't rock with them because they said this that one time. But they apologize. Nah, they can't change, they can't grow. Do it all the time. I'll be seeing y'all do it. I'll be seeing the inconsistencies. I'll be like, just say you don't like that person just because you don't like that person. Don't be trying to, because you let people slide on way more than that. Happens all the time. Chris Brown's a prime suspect. Chris Brown is prime. People love Chris Brown, regardless of what he did and be doing. And he had some incidents after Rihanna. But people be like, man, they too hard on him. And then somebody else, they just give like an opinion in the moment that pissed you off. Just an opinion. They ain't put hands on nobody. They ain't put nobody in the hospital. They ain't drag nobody out emotionally, mentally, physically. You're like, man, they said that, black women be challenging sometimes, but I still love them, but they be challenging. Ever since then, I ain't rock with them ever since. You know what I'm saying? I just can't unsee it. He said that he got a strained relationship with women because the women in his life, he's had a strained relationship with them. So I just can't unsee that. Y'all be wild. Here's what I want y'all to do. I'm putting up a challenge for everybody. Everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody getting in on this. Now, I challenge y'all. When somebody says or posts or tells you in person, whatever, when somebody says that they like something, right? Whether they enjoy this person, this song, this album, this movie, this TV show, this particular food, this particular, brand of clothing, whatever it may be. If they just come out and be like, yo, I like such and such. If you don't like it, I want you to stop yourself from saying anything. and just don't say it. I challenge you. If they ask you how you feel about that certain thing, speak your truth. Speak it. But if they say, man, I really enjoy this, and you don't say it. Hold it back. I really like French toast. I like pancake. Don't even say that. Just be like, oh, okay. Boom. Don't be doing no sideways. If you like it, I love it. You know, if that works for you, don't even say none of that. I challenge you to let people enjoy things without you coming on the back end to be like, I don't like what you like. Because it fucks up the energy. Yeah, we all got our opinions and vibes or whatever, but let them have that little moment of enjoyment. Let them express like, hey, I like this. And don't come around the corner, I ain't feeling that. I just never really, all right, man. All right. See how long y'all can do. I want y'all to finish out November without chiming in. Finish out November without chiming in how you don't like it. So if somebody posts something on Instagram or whatever, and they say, yo, I really like this, resist. You'd be like, okay, or just scroll past. See how long y'all can do. I challenge y'all to ride out the rest of November. I want to see if y'all can do it. I want to see if y'all can pull it off. Starting right now, right here and now, in this moment, right here, right now. We call it the let people enjoy things. Let people enjoy things November. I like the no chime November. I like that too. Let's see if we can get it cracking. Speaking of cracking, you know what's cracking? Get some money in your pocket. You know what's even better than that? Not waiting until payday. You know, because when you waiting on payday, your money tight, your money funny, your money hilarious, your money cracking jokes. And that 15th is like, it's already the 2nd or the 3rd of the month. And you looking down at the 15th like, hurry up, man. Hurry up. You praying for time to move faster. Knowing that life is short, knowing that life is precious, you praying for life to pick up the pace because you need that money. That's where Earnin comes in, man. Because life doesn't happen bi-weekly, so why should payday? That's a very good question. The money you earn can be in your hands today with Earnin. Okay? Earnin is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work up to $100 per day or up to $750 per pay period. You hear me? Up to $750 per pay period. Just download the Earnin app and verify your paycheck. Then access up to $100 a day as you work and leave an optional tip drills, I like to call them. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. All right. So whatever it may be, a night out on the town, car trouble, you know what I mean? Medical bill. Your cats, you got to take your cat to the vet, man. The rent due. You got to get a new dress. You got to get a new outfit for the such and such. Whatever the case may be, Earnin is going to come in clutch on that. Man, I wish Earnin was around when I was working at Dairy Queen or Inmersh or Best Buy or when I was work study at Department of Black Programs or when I worked at the Activity Center. Man, I wish they was around there, man, because I always needed the money, man. I hate waiting on payday. Hated waiting on payday. But anyway, download Earnin today, spelled EARNIN, in the Google Play or Apple App Store. Now, when you download the Earnin app, type in verbal cardio under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. That's verbal cardio under podcast. Subject to your available earnings, location, daily max, and pay period max. See earnin.com/TOS for details. Now, remember, y'all, Earnin it's a financial technology company. It's not a bank. You can't be like, yo, man, my bank Earnin. No, we not that. Bank products are issued by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC. Okay, just want to throw that out there, man. So get in on that Earnin life, man. Trust. So I saw a video today that Snoop posted on his page, right? And there was a couple and a little 4-year-old in the video. His name was Messiah, right? And Messiah said to the boyfriend, my daddy spent the night. And he was like, wait, what'd you say? And after he said that, the mom tried to put her hand on the little boy's mouth. And he's like, yeah, my daddy spent the night. He's like, hold on. So that baby revealed that Pop spent the night. And he was like, yo, here at this house? He's like, yeah. And so they get into a little back and forth. Like, you gonna believe him? He's 4 years old. You gonna believe him? I was like, he don't never talk like this. And first and foremost, kids don't be lying. And when they do lie, it's a ridiculous lie. Like little kids, they be like, I saw a Pegasus. It was in the front yard and it flew away and then it turned into a dragon. Yeah. And it was a gorilla riding it. Oh, okay. That's how they lie. But stuff like this, my dad spent the night, that's facts. That really happened, man. That little baby was telling the truth. And he said that, like, yes, I'm going to believe him. She's like, you going to believe a 4-year-old? He was like, yes. And I would too. It's a wrap. It's a Reynolds wrap. It's a lettuce wrap. It's a vegan wrap. It's a grilled chicken wrap at that point. Because I know that little kid ain't lying. Little kids keep it real. They keep it 100. They keep it 100. And when they do lie, it's in spectacular fashion. And I was just like, yeah, my daddy spent the night. Oh, caught. You busted. I remember my first lie. I remember when I debuted on the Line Streets, man. It was it was trash. It was one of the worst lies of all time. I was playing with my mom's razor. She had a big razor in there. And I didn't respect how sharp razors really are. So I ran my finger across the blade and cut my finger. And I'm like, My mom comes in there, and so I'm scared to tell her that I was playing with the razor. So I said, a lion came in the bathroom window and sliced my finger. That's the most raggediest lie of all time, man. My mom was like, what? A lion came in and just came in through the window that was intact, closed, in Chicago. Lion came in and sliced my finger. She was like, boy, come on. That's my debut at lying. I might have been 4 at the time. I might have been 3. I was mad young. That's how we lie, man. At that age. We don't be lying on the real stuff. Yeah, man. You know, my dad came through last night. We're not gonna lie on that. That little baby telling the truth, man. And I hope dude stood firm. I hope he stood firm and was like, man, we're done. We're done. And the dead giveaway was mom's trying to put her hand over the kid's mouth. Dead giveaway. You're guilty. You're guilty. It's over. And that baby saved you, man. I look at it like this. When people get caught cheating, when they get cold busted, yes, it's going to hurt like hell. Your heart is going to be shattered into a million pieces. The betrayal is epic. But you have been saved from that person's treachery. The jig is up. The light is on. You have been saved. Now you can walk away clean. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, you're going to be devastated, but you can walk away clean. It ain't no messy, complicated back and forth. It ain't no holding on. It ain't no walk away. When people forgive others for cheating, it's either because you was also cheating as well, or it's just, you're never going to fully forgive unless y'all was both treacherous. Then you could be like, yeah, all right, let's just cut the shit. But when one person is on the straight and narrow path of faithfulness, they on it. Never cheated, never even thought about it, never even remotely did it. And the other person that cheated, you're never going to fully forgive them. You're never going to see them the same way. So you might as well tap out. Tap out. Get your self-esteem in order. I know it's easier said than done. You're like, Tone, it's not that easy. Because I know people have been really just raked over the coals. Self-esteem is shattered. But you get an out. You get a clean break. Like, yo, you cheated. Ain't nothing else got to be said. Why you walked away? Why'd you break up with such a? They cheated. Boom. Ain't nobody asking nothing else. Ain't no follow-up questions. Ain't no therapy. That's it. Boom. You got busted. Got caught. Because who knows if that little baby didn't say nothing, who knows how long he would have been getting cheated on. Who knows? And I don't even know. They might not have smashed. They might not have even took it there. But the fact was he was in that house. He didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So it was still treachery regardless. But you get a clean walk away. So if any of you have ever been cheated on and you know, your partner got cold busted, man, be thankful, man. Because there's people out here right now getting cheated on right now. They getting cheated on right now in this very moment. Right here, right now. They getting cheated on. And they don't even know. They don't even know. They got no clue. They might have some inclinations. They might have some ain't right, but they don't have no hard evidence. And so they out here right now thinking everything is all good, but it ain't. And you just living out here getting played. Getting cold played like Contra on Nintendo. Getting played like spades at a cookout. And you don't even know. And you can't worry about what you don't know. You can't stress yourself out over, you know what I'm saying? But still, you don't know. So I feel like it's always a blessing when you find out. Now, some people believe in the ignorance is bliss. Some people live by that. Ignorance is bliss. I don't want to know nothing. Some people can move and function like that. Some people can thrive in that. But some people got to know. Some people got to know the truth. And it's most sanitary. It's most sanitary to know. Because you know, you get cheated on, are they going raw? So now you got to worry about the health of it all. There's so much going on. Speaking of goings on, man. You know, Masterclass has a lot going on. Masterclass has so much going on. Y'all need to get in on this, man. Whatever you're into, whatever you have a slight interest in, whatever you're just curious about, Masterclass is the way to go, man. That's the gift that keeps on giving, man. Watching people in their, I really love to watch people in their element, talking about their element. I've been on this thing lately where I just went on a David Bowie kick the past 2 days. So I saw a list that had like the top 10 SNL performances of all time, right? And at the top of the list was a David Bowie performance. And so I watched that performance, and so I was just like, and I was already a fan of David Bowie, but it just, you know, sometimes we're so oversaturated with like artistry and musicians and songs and artists that, you know, sometimes we need to zero back in on certain artists that we do like. And so growing up, I liked David Bowie's music. I liked Let's Dance and the song he had with Mick Jagger and China Girl and, you know, Ashes to Ashes, even though that video terrified me. Heroes, Modern Love. He had so many songs that I liked. And I was just like, David Bowie, you know. And so I just went on a a wormhole of David Bowie. So I was just watching how, you know, how his career, how he did his career, his style. Cause he's one of the most, David Bowie is one of the most innovative, visually unique musicians I can think of. Like he always changed his look, his style. He always had something extra going. Like it was always a new look, it was always a new thing. And then he was doing movies and stuff like that. And he was just dope. And so I'm watching him on that Saturday Night Live performance, and then he was on the performance with a dude named Klaus Nomi. So I went down that wormhole, like, who is this guy? And he was this guy that was also very had a unique visual look, but he had an operatic voice and vocal range. And he was just doing wild stuff in the 70s and early 80s. He passed away in 1983, so he never really got to, expand beyond that. Avant-garde. So I'm on that. So, but needless to say, and I'm gonna get back to Masterclass in a minute. I like watching videos and documentaries about artists and their come up in their career, when they talk about how they made this album or that album. Even if I'm not necessarily familiar with the song and the music itself, I'm still very interested to see people's trajectory into what they do, what they do. And so Masterclass is like a glimpse into that. Because there's going to be a passion along with it. Like when they talk about, making music or making a beat, or if you watch Christina Aguilera talk about singing and stage presence, or Timbaland talking about producing and beat making, or Yo-Yo Ma in the music and connection, it's just interesting to see people that are passionate about something, that do something very well and at a high level. Just watching them talk about it is a dope experience. And you get that all over Masterclass, whether you're interested in arts and entertainment, business, community and government, design and style, food, home and lifestyle, music, science and tech, sports and gaming, wellness, writing, all of that. And so I feel like Masterclass is just, for one, it's great entertainment, and two, it's great knowledge. Like I feel like you get a double whammy on it. With Masterclass, your loved ones can learn from the best to become their best. Masterclass is the only streaming platform where you can learn and grow with over 200 plus of the world's best. That's why Wirecutter calls it an invaluable gift. So gift unlimited learning to somebody this holiday season. Learn from any Masterclass instructor anywhere on a smartphone, computer, smart TV, or even in audio mode. So you can watch it on so many different platforms. Like you can help them use improv to overcome fears with Amy Poehler, craft a stand-up set with Judd Apatow, or turn passion into achievements with the cultural icon Martha Stewart. And the classes really make a difference. 88% of members feel that Masterclass made a positive impact on their lives. So, Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. So head over to masterclass.com/verbal for the current offer. So masterclass.com/verbal for the current offer. That's up to 50% off masterclass.com/verbal. And it might not be the 50% off. Just see what they're offering for the holidays. And get in on that. Make sure you use that verbal though. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget the verbal part, man. Let them know I sent you, if you will. And shout out to David Bowie, man. He's like I said, I've been on the David Bowie kick the past couple of days, and I was just like, man, dude was dope, man. Raggedy ass cancer, man. And then from David Bowie, of course, I'm gonna go to Iman, and then I went to her IG page just to see how she was doing and how she was holding up, and it was like, they were married for a long time, and even to this day, to this very day, she calls him her husband. She doesn't call him late husband, former husband, none of that. She's like, that's my husband. And so even though he's gone, it's still this. So I'm glad they were able to find each other, and they had a daughter together, and he had a son from a previous relationship, and just dope shit. And so I love rabbit holes like that. And that dude Klaus, Cause I was just like, yo, man, the whole look and the vibe. And I was just thinking back to like, back in the day when we didn't have social media and the internet, and you kind of had to be at places. Like you had to be there physically to get, the full effect. And like, yeah, you could catch glimpses here and there you're at the mercy of the news and what they're gonna put on TV, but you really didn't have like access to that or like to see the scene. And like, sometimes I wish that I was around during certain eras of like music and style and art. And like, I wish I could go to like the South and like watch the evolution of blues, or, that whole Motown era, or the early days of rock and roll before it got snatched from black artists. I would love to see that era. And even during the theft, I still am interested in seeing those other musicians that were inspired by these black musicians, and then how they developed into their own style. And like being in London during certain times, like during Beatlemania, or like when the Rolling Stones came up, and then being in New York around that scene. And like, and then, you just start to think about everything that was going on. And even like, so now, Klaus Nomi, he passed away from AIDS in 83. So that got me thinking about AIDS and how AIDS took out so many talented individuals, actors, musicians, dancers. Like it really did a number on that community. And I was just like, man, so I started thinking about that. And I was just like, because like in that documentary I watched on Klaus, he was he died from AIDS in 83. So this was at the time where they really didn't name it. They really didn't know what was going on. At that time, they called it a gay cancer. And so it was like, well, damn, so people really didn't know what was happening. And so in that documentary, it was sad because they were like, the people that were around him kind of left him by himself, because they weren't sure what this illness was. They weren't sure if they could catch it. Nobody really knew anything. So of course we can sit back now with the knowledge that we have now and be like, no, he died in 1983. We can look at he was like 30 something. We can look at the knowledge now and be like, well, you couldn't catch it like that, but they didn't know then. And so, people are very like paranoid about catching something in the health. And that's the name of it, the Know Me song. That's it right there, Crunchy Apple. That's the documentary. It's on YouTube. What pisses me off about that documentary though, because Klaus was German. And so I don't know if they were talking to his mom or whatever. So whenever they would speak German, there was no subtitles. So I'm like, what the hell are they saying? But it just showed me like, man, I'm pretty sure that when he passed away, he felt alone. I was like, man, because people they didn't know how to respond to it. I was just like, and we could be out here on the other side of it judging them, like, how can you abandon him in that time? But you really didn't know. And so people are gonna draw back and be like, yo, I'm gonna survive. So I don't want to go and catch it, because they weren't knowledgeable of the thing at that time. So, even now, like, somebody has Ebola or something, I might be hesitant to be like all up in your face. So it was like in that moment in time, it was just like, damn. But I felt sorry for him, knowing what I know now about the virus. I'd have been like, y'all would have been good, but we didn't know that then. And so I try to give a little grace on the people like, panicking in the moment. But I just felt bad for Klaus, because damn, man, that sucks to feel like alone when you're dying. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that died from AIDS at that time were abandoned by people because nobody knew what was going on. So I'll be thinking about that. I'll be like, damn, that sucks, man. Because when you're dying and you're sick and you just like, man, you don't want to be alone. You know what I mean? You don't want to be out here like, dang man, nobody came to see me, and you just feel like you're alone in that. Because you know, when people are fighting with cancer, we're more knowledgeable of cancer, and we know that, you know, you're not going to catch it by going to see a loved one or caring for them. So you're always going to have that support. But when it's a new illness that could be spread, people gonna be like, I don't know, man. So now they're in the hospital alone. I'm just like, damn, man, that sucks. So anyway, that was the wormhole. That was like the trajectory of my, like, you know, research. I was like, oh, that dude, connecting all the dots, and then Wormhole City, man. Wormhole City. But shout out to David Bowie though, because I was listening to his track list yesterday and the day before, and I was just like, man, he got some songs. It's so unique, man, just so unique. And they talked about this dude from like British TV back in the 60s and stuff, like David Bowie sounded like this guy. And the guy that he sounded like, because David Bowie didn't have like a strong singing voice, but it was just something about his style and the way that he did it that was just vibe central. So, okay, so this is another thing I want to touch on. Thank you for the wormhole. Yeah, man. I love a good wormhole, man. I'll be like, ooh, oh, and here I am. And I'll just be video after video, man. All that good stuff. Now, there was a post on one of the pages I follow, and they were talking about if your teenage child has a job, do you make them pay bills in the house? And I said, yeah, I finished the ad. I said, I would like for them to pay a bill. Not because I need them to, not because I need the help, but because I want them to get used to, if you're working to make a living, you should get used to paying a bill. It could be their cell phone bill, it could be whatever. But I don't want them to get acclimated to free money. Not, you know, they work for the money, of course. They work for the money, but the reality is, when you work, they're gonna take them taxes, and you're gonna have bills. I learned that early on when I remember when I first started working. My brother, that, you know, I was staying with my brother, my oldest brother, not Scott, but it was Khalil. He was like, yeah, man, put in on this bill. And I was livid. I was like, man, I'm finally making a little money. You gonna try to charge me for a utility? And I was just like, I was pissed. But then I was like, all right. But that got me acclimated to, you know, paying bills. And I'm Bills McGee. Never late on my rent Johnson. And so I feel like that was a valuable tool. And people in the comment section was like, why have kids if you just gonna take their money? You the one that had the kid. I'm like, why are you taking it here? I'm just saying, when you get a job, when you get out there on your own, you're gonna have to pay these bills. That's on you. You know, when you get out from underneath the nest, you're gonna have that rent due. You're going to have that electric and that water. You're going to have that gas. You're going to have that car insurance. And so me telling my child, like, all right, you know, you can't just make money and just live free out here. You're going to have to pay on something. And so, and you know, bill paying is not glamorous. We don't look at it as glamorous. We don't look at paying the gas bill, the water bill, the electric bill as glamorous. You know, it's not as glamorous as getting the shoes you like or the clothes you like or eating where you want to eat and buying movies and, you know, all of this. The utilities is not glamorous. Paying that car insurance ain't glamorous. And so I'm just getting you acclimated. So just put money on either your cell bill or just pay the light bill. Something like that. Or put in on it. And that's what I said. Some people's in their feelings about it. They're like, well, then why I had kids? Man, shut up, man. Relax. It's just a nice little tool and a reminder for your kids. Once they get independent, it's not a complete shell shock when they come out of your nest. And I feel like it's beneficial. You know what I mean? It's not me asking to help me pay these bills because I can't afford it. It's not that. It's just, this is part of the adult experience. And they was like, let them be kids. They are kids. That's why they stand with me, and that's why they paying as little as possible. That's the kid part. But when they come into adulthood, you know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to hear none of that shit. The electric company want that money. The water, they want that money. The gas, they want that money. The cell phone people, they want that money. Car note, they want that money. I ain't your friend. I ain't your father. I ain't your mother. Where's the money? Okay? Where's the cash? Where's it at? So yeah, so I peeped that. And so another thing, long marriages. Denzel has been on the roller coaster doing promo for Gladiator 2. He's been all over the place. He's been doing interviews like crazy. And, I've just been seeing clips of Denzel everywhere. And he's been married for 41 years to Pauletta. And they got a family. They got 4 children. Great family. And it was like, how does it last? How does it work? And then somebody in the comment section was like, he been cheating on her. I'm like, why y'all always got to fuck up the energy? Why y'all always got to fuck up the energy, man? Shut up. Shut up. When the couple been together for 41 years, they done rose a family up. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing Pauletta on the red carpet too. Her energy's looking great. She looks fantastic. She's smiling. She's laughing. Let that just be what the fuck it is. They've been together 41 years. Some of y'all can't even string together relationships longer than 2, 3, 4 years. And who are you to say what's been done? Hush. Hush. We always want to talk about people getting divorced, people breaking up, people can't stay together. And then when a couple is together, he cheated. He cheated already. Listen. If it's working for them for 41 years, shut your mouth. Some of y'all not even 41 years old yet. They've been together longer than you've been alive. Shut your mouth. You know how long it is to stay, you know how hard it is to stay in a relationship? Relationships ain't easy to stay in, especially in this day and age. Especially when you can just tap out at any moment. Especially when everything is visual now. You be looking at other, people. You're experiencing all these people now. All the options. All the distractions. How easy it is to meet and connect and communicate with people in this day and age. 41 years together is some epic shit. That equates to 132 years together in this day and age. Hush. Shut your mouth. Especially when you got bread. Especially when you got bread. You know how easy it is to break up with people when you got bread? And y'all could be like, hey, man, they're going to take half. That happens all the time. But when you worth 200 and something million, oh, woe is you. You got 100 and something million left. Oh, you're devastated. You're done. You're in the homeless shelter. Ah, man. In this day and age where, especially when you financially stable, it's easy to walk away. Cause I ain't got to deal with this. I ain't got to put up with this. Then you're gone. You got a whole new apartment next month. So I really applaud people with money stand together, because they truly stand together because they rock with each other, because they could, when your money right, breaking up is like, hey man, I'm out. I bought a house in Chicago. We're done. I'm moving out next week. The movers will be here. It's easy to dip out. Some of y'all in the relationship now just because of the financial stability on it. You don't feel like starting from scratch. It's gonna hurt your pockets too much. You can't afford to break up. Some people are in those relationships right here, right now. If we broke up, man, I'm on somebody's couch. So y'all just hanging in there. Y'all just roommates. But when you out here breaded up and staying together, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn been together for mad long. They could have been like, man, I'm out. Nah, man, we're gonna stick it out. So I applaud, any type of high profile, financially successful couple that's still together. I'm like, yo, they really rocking with one another right there. Cause I'm scared now. Like, I'm scared now. I'll be like, I'm out. One false move, I don't need this. I'm out. You know what? I ain't feeling. I don't like how you talking to me right now. I'm out. Cause I don't need this. Some people really move in that space. And I feel like I'm in that space, low key. I don't need this. I'm out. You say I'm capping? What you mean? Shay Love Lewis? Explain me capping. We're done. Yeah, man. Blink wrong. I'm out. I don't like how you were looking at my cats. We're done. We're done. You have the mindset of a man who knows how to value a person for real reasons. So, no. I'll be valuing people, but I also have a like, I don't need this type of flow about me to my detriment. Like, I'll be like, you know what? I don't need this. I'll be ready to dip on out at any moment. If my piece is fucked up, I'll be like, you know what? Nah, I'm out. I don't like what's happening. I gotta own that. I gotta own that about myself. I'll be like, I'm out. I'll just face it alone. Big outs. So if I'm worth $100 million, I'll be like, we're done. Like, don't be breaking up every 6 months with somebody. You was living together, then you just moved out. Got a new spot downtown. It's whack, I know, but watch out. I also wanted to speak on this. So we all have our preferences, correct? We all like what we like. You like what you like. Your type. You like somebody that's funny. You like dark skin. You like lighter skin. You like black. You like white. You like, dreads, beard, tall, short, thick, thin, slender, swole, muscular, ripped, lean. Right? We like what we like, right? So there's a video clip that I saw of this dude. He was robust. He was fat, if you will. And he was like, man, I don't want no big girl, man. I don't want no big girl. I like them, slim or whatever. And people was like, well, ain't this the pot calling the kettle black? And men that, heavy men or sloppy men, whatever you want to call them, whatever they say, I like small girls. Y'all get on their ass. Y'all get on their necks. Y'all get on their heads. Like, who are you to be like, But that's the reality of it. How many women out here, they be like, I don't like short men. I like tall men. They don't like it when a man is short. That's something he has no control over. And y'all be like, I like my man to be 6 foot and up. And you short. You 5'2", 5'3" and a half. 5'6" with pumps. Who are you to be like, I don't want nobody short? It's the same mindset, but we don't shred y'all up the same way that plump dude gets shredded up for liking a smaller woman. So I feel like there's a double standard there where women can be like, I don't want no small dilk. And I want my man to be, taller than 6'1". Man, but you're 5'3". So you're short. And I want him to have a 6-pack. But you don't have a pack. And so we like what we like, y'all. We like what we like. So don't be hard on them big dudes that like small women, man. Yeah, he robust. He out here eating. But he attracted to women that's small. Slim, if you will. Let him have that. Let him have it. Now he probably gonna struggle, landing something within his, wheelhouse. He might struggle on that too, because she gonna be looking at him like, nigga. He gonna look at that man and be like, I like my man a little slimmer than this. That could very much happen. And there's some women that like the chubby chasers, as we like to call them. The chubby chasers, where they be like, I like my man with some meat on his bones. There are women out there like that as well. I feel like I reaped the benefits back in the day, in the Tony Bacon days. I feel like I reaped the benefits of women just liking a man with meat on the bones right there. I didn't like my own meat on my own bones, but they was just like, what's up, Tony? They was still giving me the time of day. So everybody got their thing. Everybody got their thing. Everybody got their preference. Everybody got something. You know what I mean? I don't know what my type is. I can't even call it. And I know we had this discussion before, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking pure physical though. Like visually, I like a lot of different things. So, there's that. And Sabrina asked me again, yo, you holler at Khalees yet? She want me to holler at Khalees tough. And I just be supporting Khalees's products and her Instagram. I be buying her seasonings and the butters. I'm just leave it at that. So I'm not about to get my feelings hurt. Yeah, but Tony, men typically don't want women to be taller than them, so that's not a fair comparison. Now, that's fair too. A lot of men don't want their woman taller than them, but I see more men, especially the short dudes, they gonna go for the tall women. They go for the tall women. They still be like, what's up, baby girl? What's up with tonight? They still be, what's up with tonight? Oh, because I'm sure you ain't gonna, I see how it is. I see how it is. I'm gonna win you over. I'm gonna win you over, girl. You just watch. Just watch. I'm gonna win you over. You got nice knees right here. You got nice knees, man. I'm gonna win you over. You know what I'm saying? So you be hating on the short players like myself, man, but we got the confidence. You feel me? Don't do your boy like this. Hey, look at your knees. Man, I'll see you next time. They be all in, man. Short men. More short men love women taller than them than vice versa. And I want to speak on this too, to get on like a little serious note on the closeout. Sexism is real. Sexism is real. We can sit up here and act like it ain't, but I really believe that there are a lot of men that refuse to have a woman president simply because they are women. They just gonna vote for the man regardless. Not all. Everybody had their own particular reason for voting the way they voted, but I really feel like, because look at Joe Biden beating Trump, right? Nobody gives a damn about Joe Biden as a politician. Let's be real. Nobody gives a hot damn. When Trump goes up against the men, he lost. He lost. But the two women he went up against, he won. Even though Hillary got the popular vote, she still lost ultimately. I feel like Biden was just somebody that just wasn't Trump. And it was like, he's a man, he's not Trump. Bloop. Biden didn't have a lot of meat on the bone. He didn't have a lot of meat on that bone. So I just feel like, and a lot of people just couldn't decide because like, man, I just can't see a woman in charge, man. It's just dudes. It's dudes out here that refuse to play with women on video games, like in terms of like being the woman characters outside of their mamas and they sisters or whatever. Then outside of fucking them, they just like, man, I can't be taking no orders from no women. That's a real mindset. That's a real, like, just look how dudes talk in comment sections. They just can't fathom it. They get, a woman in charge of the country? I don't know, man. I'ma just, even though I hate Trump, I'ma just opt out. That's how deep it is. It's deeply rooted. It's rooted deep. And I really feel like that played a big part of it. And she was a woman of color, but she was a woman. So it was just like, she was against all odds in this bitch. So some people opted out. Some people just like, I'm gonna just go for Trump then, just because, I'm gonna just go for that. Sexism is alive and well, man. And people can sit up here and deny it and fight me on it. Oh, well, I just voted for you. Probably did, maybe, but let's address the elephant in the room, though. A lot of men don't fuck with women like that. That's the cold reality. And it's wild. And it sucks. And a lot of people won't admit it. They'll go to the grave holding it, but I just see it through the actions. I hear how men talk. I'll be watching, man. And people be like, man, how you know? Because I'm an observer for a living. That's what stand-up comedians do. We observe everything. And so I'll just be watching people, how they talk, how they move, and I'll just be like, you don't like women, bro. You don't. And it goes back to the biases that I was talking about earlier in this episode of like, You know, when you have a bias already set up, that person you have a bias against, one false move, one false infraction, you already ready to write them off because you already get your little bias in place. And a lot of men have a bias towards women that men are better than women. That bias is already ingrained in your brain. So, you know, Kamala comes out with any type of blemish or anything, you like, man, watch out, man, I'm off her. Because you already had that bias already programmed in. Off the top. And then when you call it out, when you say anything about it, man, you just a simp, man. You know what I'm saying? You just a simp. I'm like, nah, I just see the value outside of the sex part because of how I was raised. And so I just be like, mad interested. That's wild. What was that? Did you see Elon Musk tweet speaking about how we should teach fear of childlessness? The white politicians are scared as fuck being the minority. That's why they want the abortion to be legal. I believe it. I believe it because that's a very real fear. Because I grew up with women in the mix. I grew up with women in the mix tough. It's like, you know, my mom was a huge presence for me. A presence of like leadership, strength, no nonsense, but love and care. You know, growing up with that in the home was very important. And then, you know, in the school system, in Chicago public schools, 90% of my teachers were women. From my first grade teacher, second grade teacher, third grade teacher, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all women. Then when I went to summer school, Mr. Bishop was my first male teacher. It took me all the way to seventh grade, the end of seventh grade, because I had to go to summer school to get back at eighth. So in between seventh and eighth grade is when I first got exposed to a male teacher for the very first time in my life. Now, granted, you know, depending on where you live, you might have had more male teachers. And then when I got older, when I moved to New Mexico, I had more males. But like Chicago, though, vast. I had one dude. Then when I moved to New Mexico, I got Coach Irwin and Coach McGee and Coach Terras's teaching class. They were all coaches, all the dudes, all the coaches. They were men. And so I was like, oh snap, you know what I'm saying? Male teachers. It still leaned more towards women, but now I'm getting like a little bit of variety. And then when I get to college, you know, it's a lot more male teachers in college. So, but man, coming up, but I'm under the leadership of a woman, you know, all those teachers. You know, you got to respect them. There was no nonsense. They wasn't playing no games. They wasn't having it. So it was just like, all right, you know. So then, you know, when I get into the workforce and I'm working under, you know, woman leadership, I was cool with it because I was already acclimated to it because of, you know, how I came up. And before you dudes come in here and be like, yeah, Tony was raised as a simp, man, I was raised by my father as well. You know, when I went to his house, I was under his leadership and his guidance. So it wasn't like I had a lack of male leadership in my life. We was at my father's house every weekend. You know, no nonsense, structure, iron your clothes, get your church clothes ready. You know what I'm saying? Do this, do your chores, you know, structure. Ask before you just go in the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? It was like all of this stuff. Be on your P's and Q's at church. We getting in trouble going to church, you know. So I got, you know, I got the double dip from the male and female perspective in terms of my family. But it was like, but once I was out, you know, in the school system and out and about, there was a lot of woman leadership out there for me to see and for me to, you know, take in and value. So that's why I moved the way I move I have the outlook that I have is because, I had strong woman presence in my life ever since, I came out, ever since my debut. So, and I just grew up, valuing that. And so that just bled over into, how I move now. And so, but a lot of dudes didn't have that. So, they coming up thinking they better than, or they just can't fathom, a woman being over them in any capacity. So it's like, that's wild. But I feel like it's out here. And I also had older brothers too. I forgot to mention them. I also had 2 older brothers too. So I had a male presence going on as well. You know what I mean? And so, and I'm just watching everything. I'm taking everything in. I'm learning. I'm moving. I'm grooving. I'm just like, yeah. And so that's how I move. And like I remember like an early display of compassion was shown to me by a girl. I remember I used to, like, when I was like going to a new school or whatever, I would cry. Like I would be like, man, I don't want to be, what I'm saying? I would just cry like when I was in a new environment. So I was, I went to a new school from preschool to kindergarten to first grade. I was like, what I'm saying? New school. And so I would just be in there crying. Kids do that all the time. When you take them to daycare for the first time, when you take them to a new school, whatever, they be like, I'm talking about, you feel me? So, no, actually, this is not even that. So this is maybe like, what grade was this? Maybe like 4th grade. I don't know why I was in class crying this particular day. I don't know what happened. But I can't remember what happened. Anyway, I was crying, and this girl that sat close to me, she wiped my tear, man. She just took her little finger and just wiped my tear. And this was a girl, like, we didn't talk that much. She sat there and wiped my tear. Now I was like, man, my brothers would never do this. And it was just like, it was a moment that really stuck with me. It was just like, man, compassion. That's crazy, man. She wiped my tear. And we wasn't even that tight. She was just like, man. And so that really stuck with me. And granted, everybody in my school is black. So this is a black girl, like, I'm wiping it. So I'm getting all these elements of female presence in my life. And so that kind of stuff sticks with you. It's just like, damn, man. You women are all right. You girls, you women, y'all all right with me. You got me, man. You got me, man. You stuck with me. I'm gonna rock with y'all. So I make sure to be an ally for women. And let me tell you something about being an ally. Like a true ally, when you're a true ally of a person or a group of people, being a true ally means that it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be inconvenient, it's going to be rough. You're going to be outnumbered sometimes, you're going to be outgunned. And a lot of people, they're allies when it's convenient or when it's easy. But to be a true ally, it's going to be difficult. You're going to have to knuckle up. You're going to have to get into some scraps. You're going to have to scrap people that you love. You're going to have to scrap people that you're close to. You're going to have to scrap family members, close friends. So when I'm an ally to, women in the gay community, I got to be ready for the smoke. It ain't gonna be convenient all the time. Yeah, it's cool to be an ally when it's convenient. When you got your people behind you, yeah, let's jump them. grab him up. Let's jump him in the comment section. Your allyship gets tested though when you got to have a one-on-one conversation with somebody that you respected, and you say, "Oh, this is the type of shit you want." Nah, I can't rock with it. Now you got to have those uncomfortable conversations. That's when the true ally, being a true ally, that's when it comes into play. When you got to get your fingernails dirty. It's easy when, social media is easy in the comment section. But that one-on-one, where you got to challenge your parents or you got to challenge your siblings to some shit. That's when we see what you really made of on this ally thing. That's when it's like, oh, you real. When you're an ally for other races outside of your own, and your family members say some wild shit, you gonna step up, or you just gonna be like, well, that's just so-and-so, or you gonna throw them on the grill and let them know where you stand. That's when your mettle gets tested as an ally. So you gotta ask yourself, who you riding for and when you riding. Who you really riding for? But let me get the hell up out of here, man. I've talked enough. Sick of this, man. Sick of my own self right here, right now. I appreciate y'all for being here. Shout out to Mishi for, she just had a birthday. Want to give her a shout out. Mishi has been helping me, man. She's been helping me get my clips together because, I hate sending in the clip timestamps. That's one of I hate doing it because once I do the podcast, I walk away. I don't want to go back and watch it and find the clip. So, Mishi, thank you. The help is invaluable. It's taking a lot off my mental plate. So I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all in the patron sainthood. Thank y'all for sitting up here listening to me. You got so many other options, but you pulled up. You pulled up and you're right here, you're right now, man. Everybody that's talking about verbal cardio, you're listening, you're tuning in, you're running the numbers up on the regular. I appreciate y'all, man, because sometimes I'll be wanting to quit. I'll be wanting to stop doing this because I feel like it's not growing. I still kind of feel like it's not growing like I wanted to, but I'm still here for now. But I would like it to grow, and I feel like it's not really growing like that. And I want more growth out here. So make sure y'all spread the word, run the numbers up, tell people, share links, all that good stuff. That way I feel like I'm not doing it. That way it's not all for naught. You know what I mean? So anyway, I appreciate y'all. And thank you for tuning in to another session of that verbal cardio.